of climate change. This irony has to be exposed. We emit negligibly and contribute substantially to mountain maintaining ecosystem. However, we feel the severest brunt of climate change, which has worsened the development urge. Such climate injustice must come to an end. A dedicated climate financing window for mountainous countries could be a practical step towards that goal. Despite the clarity of science and adverse impact of climate change in mountains, the mountains have not got enough attention in the climate negotiations. Though they have been part of the discussion, the outcome document have often been weak in addressing the issue. The shrinking of mountain cryosphere in high mountain areas has also led to negative impacts on food security, water resources, water quality, livelihoods, health and well-being. This call for more holistic approach in achieving sustainable mountain development. Notably, the ecological health of mountains has a ramification on lowlands as well. The organic linkage between the terrestrial ecosystem and ocean ecosystem also make mountains the matter of global concern. As the 2019 Triennial Resolution of the UN General Assembly on Sustainable Mountain Development rightly recognizes, the mountain cryospheres has an impact on lowlands areas even far from the mountains. What happens in mountains affects physically, biologically, and many other ways the human system in the mountains and surrounding lowlands, with impacts evident in the ocean. We must accelerate our action to save our mountains from the climate assault and promote sustainable mountain development. In this light, cooperation and partnership at international, regional, and national level is critical for making sustainable mountain development a reality. In closing, I express my full confidence that the commemoration of this year as an International Year of Mountains will galvanize much needed global support for this noble cause. I thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your stress on mountains matter for people and for the planet, and especially for your call on meaningful action. Thank you indeed. Said that, ladies and gentlemen, next I have the privilege to invite in to the podium the Honorable Member of the National Assembly, Ms. Bimala Rai Paudel, to make her statement.
Respected Chair of Session, Honorable Minister of Forest and Environment, respected Chief Guest, Right Honorable Prime Minister Sir Bahadur Dewaju, respected Chief Secretary Shankar Das Bairagiju, all respected dignitaries. I can see from FAO representatives here, I can see IUCN representatives, WWF representatives, all international dignitaries who are presented here, as well as those excellencies who are connected virtually. Respected government officials, respected all dignitaries, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon as well as namaste. Today I'm very much honored to participate in this August event, as well as very much honored to share my remarks in this important event. Let me start from a short story. I had read a story by Robert Rapp, a traveler in Nepal, about his journey in Nepal. Allow me to read it in a very short paragraph. The story says, "Do you believe in the Yeti?" I asked our Sherpa trek guide, Lakpa. "The Yeti are all gone now," said Lakpa. 20 years ago, maybe, but with the climate change, it's too warm for them. An experienced guide, Lakpa had seen in the Himalayan glaciers retreat firsthand, with spring coming earlier and the fall rain lingering later every year. The long-haired animals are having a hard time. Yes, the sheep and yaks are having very hard time in the mountains. Anything with short hair, like you, can survive. But those with long hair, like madam, like me, as he said, he gestured to my wife and shook his hand. I tell you this about Yeti, Edet Lakpa. If you ask school children in Kathmandu to draw a chicken, they will draw a tandoori chicken cooked with no head. They have never been up in the mountain villages and seen a live chicken. Ladies and gentlemen, I shared this story and I got two important messages from this story that I'm going to share with you today. Two important messages are that we are gifted by nature two very important assets that are very useful for humanity. One important asset is ecological diversity that we live in. The ecological diversity has mountains, has hills, has plains, and plenty of natural resources on which we count for our livelihoods. We are also gifted by human diversity. Human diversity, I mean the whole lots of ethnicities, caste, the traditions, the cultures, the values, the systems, and the knowledge that is connected with natural resources. So we are gifted with these two important, very important assets for survivors. Unfortunately, we have not been able to utilize these gifts productively and sustainably. And that is why the story tells. The story uses two metaphors. These are only the metaphors, ladies and gentlemen. Yeti is a metaphor. Many of the important natural resources of the mountains are now endangered. This tells the same story. Similarly, chicken is only the metaphor. Many of the dialogues that we held in Kathmandu or in the United States, in the UN, are sometimes very Ladies and gentlemen, United Nations finally has declared the year of sustainable mountain development. And I'm very delighted to note that Nepal is one of the first countries to start a dialogue on sustainable solutions. At least we have realized the importance of mountain and sustainability. So this is a very important movement. Now, let me briefly touch upon the relevance of policy dialogue and International Year of Sustainable Mountain Solutions. Promoting global understanding and cooperation through dialogue, exchange, consensus building, and collaboration has been Nepal's long tradition and consistent policy. Why dialogues? Because in Eastern philosophy, where we live in, we have a saying in Sanskrit that Vade Vade Jayate Tattva-bodha. That means dialogue and exchange of ideas results into true knowledge. We have dialogues, we have to have dialogues and exchange of ideas, skills, and resources in order to identify and work on opportunities and challenges that mountains are facing today. I'm very proud of Government of Nepal. Especially, I wanted to congratulate Ministry of Forest and Environment for initiating this regional policy dialogue, which is an important foundation to widen the partnership and to work on sustainable mountain solutions. I believe that the dialogue is an opening of regional exchange, and I wish a grand success of this dialogue. Having said that, I also want to make a comment here. I heard earlier from our secretary as well as from our joint secretary of the ministry that we have planned events to celebrate International Year of Mountain. But my remarks is it would be more effective if such dialogues are organized in mountains itself. You know why? Because I shared with you the chicken as a metaphor. As a gender expert, I have so many gender issues that I have recognized and working on. But I know little about mountain women. And I believe same for the economist, for the environmentalist, and for the sociologist. We know little about mountains. So I think we need to go and interact with people, interact with the environment there to know more about mountain. And then only we can have the solutions appropriate to resolve the issues. Another thing is, celebration is good. Yes, we celebrate. But more than that, let's act upon the gap that we have. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to share with you that during the lockdown period, I had an opportunity to review policies related to forest and environment of 5 different countries of Hindu Kush Himalayas. And 2 important gaps that I came across. One, mountain agenda was the least mainstreamed agenda from development. Least, you need to find out where the mountain is written in our policies, in our programs. Not only from Nepal, but throughout the Hindu Kush Himalayas that I have observed. The second, there is a lack of coherence between the policy documents, programs, human resources, and investments that we made on mountain issues. I think during this International Year of Development, we really need to work hard to bridge these gaps that we have realized. Then only we can say that yes, we have observed International Year of Mountains, and thus we are really serious on mountain issues. Having said that, once again, I warmly welcome all the participants, those who are connected virtually, as well as those who are present here, especially the international experts and dignitaries in this beautiful hill. Wish you all very comfortable stay, as well as wish you all for a very, very active participation and careful participation. Thank you.
Thank you indeed, Honorable Ms. Bimla Rai Paudel, for this beautiful analogy and those thought-provoking statements. It was indeed a pleasure listening to you. Ladies and gentlemen, besides the snow and glaciers that are the lifeline to this entire planet, what we are running out at this very moment is time. I'm sure we all agree at this. Now this, as most of our speakers, our distinguished speakers pointed out, this calls for a synergy in our efforts and action without further ado, and most importantly, meaningful policy and action. Today at the commencement of the IYM 2022 here in